All right, we are back. My name is Armando Espinosa, local realtor here in Houston, Texas, and you are in the Houston Pulse Market Minute for April 13th, 2026, Monday. Let's go. So, would it be a bad idea to think the Houston real estate market is just about interest rates right now? Because it's not. Something bigger is happening, and most people don't even see it yet. Right now, across Houston, you have developers moving money, jobs are shifting, lifestyle is coming back, and buyers and sellers, well, they're hesitating. And would I be out of line to say this might be one of the most misunderstood markets we've seen in years? Because on the surface, it feels slow, but underneath, things are moving fast. So today, I'll be breaking down what's actually happening across Houston, Texas, from the West Houston side to downtown to Katy to North Houston, and more importantly, what it means for you. And if you're thinking about buying and selling or just trying to make the right move right now, because the question isn't what is the market doing? It's would it be a bad idea to wait? Let that sink in. While everything is already shifting around you, so let's get into it. And if we haven't met yet, my name is Armando Espinosa, local realtor here in Houston, Texas. I've lived here for over 30 years. Some may say that's too many years, but I love my city. And I've seen the city grow, shift, and reinvent itself time and time again. And what's happening right now, it's one of those shifts most people don't fully see yet. So, first article that I saw in the Houston Business Journal, actually, no, this is from the Realty News Report. West Houston Industrial Building Converts to New Use is the title of the article. So, if you've lived in 77043, which is the Spring Branch Energy Corridor area, would it be a bad idea to pay attention to what's quietly happening right now, right off of Britmore Street? Because this isn't a headline most people are going to notice, but it's exactly how neighborhoods start to change. Would it be a bad idea to know what's changing around your home before it shows up in your value? Most people notice it afterwards. So that's why, and that's when it's already too late. So here's what's happening. A commercial real estate firm just bought a 14,000 square foot industrial building near I-10 and Beltway 8. And they're not keeping it industrial. They're turning it into corporate headquarters, retail space, food, beverage, fitness, and campus style environment. So kind of hope that the retail space could be possibly a bike shop or some type of athletic wear type thing. Food, let me see, maybe another Chick-fil-A. Can never have too much Chick-fil-A. Beverage, probably another tea and coffee spot. Again, you can never have too many of those. And fitness, maybe like a boutique, fitness center where you do cardio and strength training or whatever. So they're calling it the Outpost, which is pretty cool name. So let that sink in. Would it be ridiculous to feel that you're seeing changes all around you, but not fully understanding what they mean? That's normal. And most people see buildings. Few people see what it does to demand. So why this matters? Here's the line that matters most. They said this project, which was called the Outpost, the project, is meant to enhance the surrounding neighborhood and support the local community. That's not random language, that's intentional repositioning. And would it be ridiculous to think this is just one building, or is this the beginning of a trend? All right, so the 77043, the mini market breakdown, is the price ranges in that area are about $350,000 to $650,000 plus. You have a mix of older homes and new construction infill. Days on market is moderate, homes still moving, but not instantly. Inventory is limited in updated, move-in ready type homes. What does that tell you guys? This area is already desirable for location, close to the energy corridor, which is a great area. I sold a couple homes down there this past couple months, and close to major highways. We talked about it being close to I-10 and the Beltway, right? But still in transition. So what this development does to 77043, here's what's happening. You have industrial equals lifestyle conversion, lifestyle equals more people that want to be nearby. You have demand increases, inventory tightens, and prices slowly rise. And here's the part most people miss. This isn't a big, loud project. This is a quiet signal, and those are the ones that move markets early. So would it be a bad idea to look at the homes now before this area fully transitions? Because it's definitely going to go quickly. Because once it does, y'all, you're paying for it after the fact. So how does this impact my Mike and Stacy's of the world, my ideal clients that are coming in that area? Would it be ridiculous to buy in an area that's evolving? Because right now you can still find value. You're not at peak pricing yet, you're ahead of the curve. But when areas like this finish transitioning, they feel different. They attract more buyers, they get more expensive. And how does this impact the sellers out there? So now sellers in the 77043 area, would I be out of line to say you're sitting in a unique window right now? Because buyers still have options today, but demand is quietly building. So you're in between selling in a stable market or waiting for the next wave of demand, and both can work. So if you understand timing, you'll definitely be right there in that spot. And would it be ridiculous to know exactly where your home sits before making that move? That's usually the difference between guessing and getting it right. So let's keep it real. Let's talk about the good side. The area is improving, lifestyle is increasing, demand is growing, strong long-term upside in that area. Now I wouldn't say the bad side, but maybe the pessimistic side. Growth is slower, not instant, buyers are still cautious, and not every project guarantees price jumps, but both are true. So here's the real take. Because would it be a bad idea to wait until this area feels fully developed? Because by then, you're not early anymore, you're paying for it. So if you're in the 77043, which is a Spring Branch Energy Corridor area, would it be ridiculous to ignore what's quietly changing around you? Or is this one of those moments where people who move early win quietly? All right, so now we're gonna jump all the way from Brittmore Street to downtown. Let's go downtown, baby. The Spindle Top rotating restaurant to reopen downtown after being shut down for years. This is the title of the Houston Business Journal by Jeff Jeffrey. So if you've lived in Houston long enough, you probably remember this place, Spindle Top. And now it's reopening. And would it be a bad idea to think that something as simple as a restaurant reopening could impact real estate? And also, would it be ridiculous to understand what's coming back to your area before it shows up in demand? Because most people notice it afterwards. And that's when the opportunities are already gone. So the Spindle Top restaurant sitting on the 31st floor, rotating views, 360 views of the entire city, baby. It's reopening May 15th. That's next month, after being shut down for years since the COVID days. This isn't just a restaurant. No, this is where people proposed. Hopefully more yeses than no in that proposal. Celebrated, had first dates, and built memories since 1972, guys. And now it's coming back on the scene with limited seating, reservation only, high-end experiences. And would it be ridiculous to feel like the city is starting to come alive again? Because that's exactly what this signals. So how does this matter to you all? This isn't about food. This is about energy. When places like this reopen, people come back, activity increases, businesses follow, and demand returns. And would it be ridiculous to think that impacts where people want to live? Would I be out of line to say lifestyle drives real estate more than people realize? Not just price, not just interest rates, because it's been on a roller coaster since a couple of weeks now, or maybe 40 plus days. And how a place feels, how that area feels. So now we're going to talk about the inner loop zip codes. So let's break this down, what's happening right now in these areas. You have the 77002 zip code, which is the downtown core area. You have the condos, price ranges $200,000 to $450,000. And if you're a condo buyer right now, this is the best time to buy a condo. I mean, sales are down, prices are down to be in downtown. So hit me up if you're in a condo market. I'd love to show you that data. Inventory is higher than average, guys. You have a lot to choose from. Days on market is very long. Insights, more supply equals more opportunity right now. But if demand returns, this area moves fast. Next area close to downtown, which is East Downtown, aka Edo, is the 77003. Price ranges $300,000 to $550,000. The mixed areas are new construction and townhomes. The demand is growing, y'all. I'm telling you, this spot is an unsung hero. The insights are already trending up. Lifestyle growth pushes it further. And this area is going to have the World Cup fanfare, festivities. So you better buy up some nice Airbnb, short-term rental type homes. We can renovate it up and down, whatever you want. But this area this summer is going to be crazy busy. Next area, Midtown. Let's go. I used to live in Midtown in college. I love Midtown. 77004. Price ranges from $300,000 to $600,000. The buyer types are the young professionals and the turnovers are high. Insights are the areas react quickly to lifestyle changes. Next up is the 77007, which is the Washington corridor. And side note, I'm seeing Washington change a lot. A lot of bars and clubs and eateries are changing on the monthly and almost on the weekly. I just saw there was a kind of a bar restaurant there for years, and it just turned into another restaurant. So, and actually, I used to live on the Washington corridor area where the new H-E-B was. And that was when there were like tire shops and maybe one or two bars, and that was it. Now it's in transition right now. Anyway, back to the price ranges are from $400,000 to $700,000. The demands are strong and the inventory is tightened up in updated homes. It's an already competitive lifestyle push prices higher. So the lifestyle increases the prices out there. Next up on the list is the Heights, baby. I love the Heights. Zip code 77008. In some areas, 77009. Price ranges from $500,000 to $900,000 plus. Inventory is very limited. Demand is consistently strong. Everyone wants to move in the Heights. And the insights are, it doesn't need help, but benefits anyway. Now you have Northside Village area and some parts of the Heights, which is the 77009 and Northside Village, which are the price ranges from $350,000 to $650,000, which on the lower end, around the $350,000 range, is more of the Northside Village price range, which gets you closer to that downtown Spindletop area, baby. Let's go. So the mixed homes are older homes and newer homes, which has been renovated. And the trend is gentrifying. Like it or not, that's what's happening. The insights are quiet growth and the big upside long term. And then now 77022, which is also encompasses the Northside Village. The price ranges are $250,000 to $450,000. So on that lower price range in the North Side, it also gets you closer to downtown. So if proximity is important to you, Whether you're working in downtown, midtown, Edo, Heights, all that, that is a steal of a price. It's just across the freeway, but you're not paying the Greater Heights prices, which is the 77008. Inventory is highly available. There's a ton of inventory, about 800 listings in that little spot, but the growth is active redevelopment. So the redevelopment is, the fix and flip type homes that have been renovated from the inside out. And the insights are the entry level for inner loop growth. And so would it be a bad idea to know which of these areas is about to move next? Kind of gave you some insight on that, Northside Village. Because they don't all move at the same time, y'all. They don't. Here's where most people miss. Downtown is coming back. Doesn't just help downtown, it spreads. So now we're going to talk the order on which it spreads. The 77002, which is the first, 77003, and I'm just going to say 004 in place of the 77 is next. 007 to 008, pressure builds. 009, which is the Northside Heights area. 2022, which is Northside Village, the value gets pulled up. And that's how inner loop growth works. So how does this impact buyers out there? What does this all mean? I need to connect this to my Mike and Stacy of the world that are relocating and trying to get in this market. And would it be ridiculous to buy before the city fully comes back to life, y'all? Because right now, some areas still have inventory. Prices aren't maxed out yet. Competition isn't insane. But when lifestyle returns, that changes fast. Sellers, can't forget about you sellers out there. How does this impact you guys? Would I be out of line to say your biggest advantage right now is timing? Because demand is building, but not fully back yet. So if you're sitting in that window where serious buyers are active, but competition hasn't exploded, but would it be ridiculous to know how your home would perform in this exact moment? Because that's where usually the difference between sitting and selling. So we're going to talk about the good parts of this area, the optimistic parts, which is the downtown energy returning, lifestyle improving, demand increasing, inner loop strengthening, baby. Now we're going to talk about the downside, the pessimistic side, where some areas are still slow, inventory still high in pockets, but not all zip codes move equally. Both are happening right now. And here's the real take. Because would it be a bad idea to wait until downtown feels alive again? Because by then, you're not early, you're competing. So if you live anywhere in the 002, 003, 004, 007, 008, 009, and 77022 area codes, would it be ridiculous to ignore what's coming back to life around you? Or is this one of those moments where the people who move early win quietly? All right, so we're going to be switching gears up a little bit. We're going to be talking about jobs and priorities. The playbook. This article from the Houston Business Journal by Mark Burnett, April 10, 2026, titled The Playbook, Why Young Workers Are Changing Their Job Priority, guys. This is the big one. We're talking about the shift. So would it be a bad idea to realize the market isn't being driven by interest rates right now? It is being driven by how people feel about their jobs. Because right now, 67% of young workers would take less money for more job security. 69% are willing to compromise on their ideal job. So let that sink in for a bit. People are choosing certainty over opportunity, and that's a shift. Would it be crazy to feel like things just don't feel as certain as they used to? You're not the only one thinking that. That's exactly what's driving decisions right now. And now here's where it gets uncomfortable. Workers are expecting around 8.6% of raises, closer to 10% for younger workers. So these are the workers' expectations. They're expecting 8.6% of raises, closer to 10% for the younger workers. But for companies, They're planning to give about 3% to 4% of raises, and that's a gap. And that's where hesitation lives. That's where people pause. And would it be ridiculous to understand how this affects your buying or selling decision before you make it? Because this right here, this is where people are slowing down. And when people feel uncertain, here's what they do. They wait, they delay buying, they hesitate to sell, and they overthink timing. But here's the flip side, y'all. When people want stability, they want control, they want ownership, and they want something that's theirs. And that's where real estate pulls them back in. And how does this impact buyers today? Would it be ridiculous to make a move when other people are hesitating? Because right now, for buyers, there's less competition, more options, and more negotiating power. I love to negotiate. So if you're out there, let me negotiate on your behalf. Let's do it. But if confidence comes back, that changes fast, y'all. And now you're not choosing anymore, you're competing again. And would it be a bad idea to see what you could actually buy right now while other people are still unsure? Because that window doesn't stay open very long. And how does this impact the sellers out there? Would I be out of line to say buyers are more cautious right now? And they are. They're asking more questions, taking longer, negotiating harder. So if you're selling, pricing strategy matters more than ever. Presentations matter more. Strategy matters as well. But here's the upside, y'all. The buyers that are out there, they're very, very serious. So would it be ridiculous to know how your home would perform in this kind of market before you list? And that's usually the difference between sitting and actually selling your home. So let's talk about the good and the bad. So let's be honest. Less competition for buyers. You have more leverage. Serious buyers are still active and opportunities to negotiate. Here's the downside. Buyers are hesitant. Decisions are slower. Sellers need stronger strategy and market feels uncertain. Both are true. So the real take here is, would it be a bad idea to wait until everything feels certain again? Because by then the opportunity is gone. The best moves in real estate don't happen when people feel confident. They happen when people feel unsure and act anyway. Big difference. So the real question isn't, is now the right time? It's, would it be a bad idea to wait while everyone else is still trying to figure it out? And now here's another article I found interesting. We're going to be switching gears to industrial and logistics. Let's go in the north part of Houston. Here's another article I found from the Houston Business Journal by Florian Martin. Hanover Company to break ground on airport area logistics center. Its third industrial project in Houston. So if you live in the 77338, 77073, 77090, or 77068 zip codes, would it be a bad idea to pay attention what's about to get built right next to you? Because this isn't about some headline across town. This is about your backyard. A 476,000 square foot logistics center near Bush Airport breaking ground right now. And this isn't the only one. There's more development stacking behind it. So the real question is, would it be ridiculous to think this won't impact your home value? And would it be a bad idea to know what your home would sell for today before all this fully hits ground? Because most people wait until it's done, right? That's usually when they've already missed it. And here's what the market looks like in those areas. So let's ground this in reality. From the latest HER data, sales are up about 3.7%. Inventory is up 8 to 9%. Medium home prices around $330,000, slightly down, and specifically in North Houston submarket, about 3.5 months of inventory. strong demand with a 41 hotness ratio. When I read that, I thought they were just talking about me, but they're talking about the hotness of the area. 3.5 months of inventory, which is not a lot of inventory. So what does that mean? This market isn't slow, y'all. It's just waiting. So would it be ridiculous to feel unsure in a market like this? And you're not alone. Most people just need clarity on their situation, not more noise. So here's a zip code breakdown in this area. You got the 77338, which is the Humble, IAH, the Bush Airport area, which is closest to the airport. You have lower price points and faster moving inventory. This is where demand hits first. So you want to get in those areas first. Next zip code, 77073. Got Greens Point, the North Beltway, just the entry-level pricing. Strong first-time buyer activity in those areas. And this is where buyers flood in when affordability matters. 77090, 1960 corridor area. You have more inventory, slightly slower movement. And this is where buyers negotiate the best deals right now, guys. The best. I'm your guy to negotiate on your behalf of those deals. Let's go. 77068 area code, which is the Champions area. You have the higher price points, more stability in that area. And this is where demand settles and strengthens long term. So I'm seeing a pattern in this area. So demand moves like this: 77338 to 77073 to 090 and 068. And by the time most people notice it, it already happened. And would I be out of line to say most people don't realize this until prices already move? And that's the difference between reacting and getting ahead. And what the development actually does, and let's connect this with everything. We have developers are building this because there's a lack of supply in this size of industrial space. There's growing demand for logistics and manufacturing. So what happens next? You know what happens next. You have jobs, baby. Jobs move in. Workers move closer. They don't want that commute time anymore. Rentals fill up. Buyers follow. Inventory shrinks. And when inventory shrinks, prices don't ask permission. They move. So would it be a bad idea to look at homes now while you still have options? Because once this shifts, you're not choosing, you're competing. Now let's talk about the buyer impact. How does this impact the buyers out there? Would it be ridiculous to buy before an area fully develops? Because right now, prices are still reasonable, inventory is still there, competition is manageable, and when these jobs hit, I'm telling you, the window closes and now you're fighting for the same house. And with buyers at a higher price, please save this and don't tell you I didn't tell you so. Told you so. And the sellers out there, how does this impact the sellers? Would I be out of line to say your biggest risk right now is missed timing? Because here's the tension. The future value is rising, but today's buyers are cautious. So if you're stuck between pricing for today to sell faster, pricing for tomorrow is risking it sitting on the market. And the wrong move costs you time and leverage. And would it be ridiculous to know exactly where your home sits before making that decision? That's usually the difference between guessing and getting it right. All right, let's talk about the upsides. Let's be honest, jobs are coming. Development is expanding. Demand is building and Houston keeps growing as always. Here's the downside. Buyers are cautious. Rates are uncertain, as we already know. The decisions are slower and the market feels stuck. Both are true, and that's why people hesitate. So if you're in the 77338 zip code, 77073, 77090, or 77068, would it be a bad idea to sit back and wait while everything around you is already moving? Or is this one of those moments where the people who act early win quietly? Think about it. Now we're going to be shifting over to office space and buildings. Now on the commercial side, I'm gonna take a quick swig of my water. You got office buildings disappearing, and there's one big reason why. This is an article from the Houston Business Journal by Andy Medici titled "Office Buildings Are Disappearing. There's one big reason why." Would it be a bad idea to realize some of the office buildings you drive past every day might not be offices much longer? Because across the country, they're getting torn down or turned into housing. And would it be ridiculous to think that doesn't affect your home's value? Would it be a bad idea to understand what's changing around your home before it shows up in prices? Because most people notice afterwards, and that's usually when it's already moved. Now, let's talk the real numbers. Right now, over 90,000 apartment units are being created from office conversions, and that's up 28% year over year. So 90,000 apartment units are being created from the office conversion. That's pretty neat. I wonder what they look like. Maybe industrial looking. I know it'd be kind of weird to live in an office type apartment home, but here's the real reason why that's happening. There's simply too much office space and not enough demand for it anymore. Remote work changed everything. Office demand dropped, values dropped, and now developers are stepping in. And would it be ridiculous to feel that the market keeps changing on you? And it definitely is. But once you understand the shift, you stop reacting and start positioning, y'all. And here's the real problem. This is where it gets serious. Here's the part nobody's talking about enough. Over $213 billion worth of office loans are coming due by the end of 2026. $213 billion worth of office loans. That's a lot of freaking office loans. Let that hit for a minute. That means owners have to refinance or sell or lose the property. And a lot of these buildings have already lost significant value. Some are selling at massive discounts, pennies on the dollar. So if you're in the commercial space, hit me up, let's go. And would I be out of line to say most people wait until the dust settles? But in real estate, that's usually when the opportunity is gone. So what this does to the housing industry is when office buildings convert to residential, you have housing supply increases, especially in urban areas, especially in areas like downtown, Inner Loop, and surrounding corridors. But here's the twist. Even with all these conversions, it's still not enough to meet total housing demand. So what does that mean? We're in this weird split market where some areas get more supply and some areas stay tight. And that imbalance creates opportunity. And would it be a bad idea to know what areas are gaining supply and which ones are staying tight? Because that's where the smart decisions come from. How does this impact the buyer? Would it be ridiculous to buy in an area where more housing is about to hit? Because here's what happens in those areas. You have more supply equals more options. More options gives you less competition, and less competition equals better deals. And that's the optimistic side, y'all. But here's the other side, and not every building converts. Not every area benefits equally. So some neighborhoods still get tight, still get competitive, and still go up. And how does this impact the seller? Would I be out of line to say your competition might not just be other homes anymore? It might be entire buildings at this point. You have new inventory, new options, new competition. So if you're selling in that area where supply is rising, oh my gosh, pricing matters more, presentation matters more, and timing matters more. Are you seeing a trend here with all those three things? But if you're in a tight area, you might still have leverage in this. And would it be ridiculous to know exactly what you're competing against before you list? That's usually the difference between sitting and selling. All right, now let's talk about the upside of this. Upside, yeah, more housing supply, yeah, more options for buyers, urban options for buyers, or urban areas improving, opportunity for deals. On the downside, some areas get oversupplied, Office distress could spill over and prices could soften in certain pockets. Market becomes uneven. So both are happening at the same time. And here's the real take on this. Would it be a bad idea to think the market is just going up or going down? Because it's not. It's shifting. And the people who win, they don't guess. They understand where the shift is happening. So, would it be ridiculous to sit back and wait while entire parts of the market are being reshaped? Or is this one of those moments where understanding what's changing puts you ahead of everyone else? Yeah, $400 million retail development kicks into high gear, which is the Realty News report. That's the next article. The $400 million retail development kicks into high gear from the Realty News report, another article that I found. So if you've lived in the 77494, which is the Katy Fulshear area, would it be a bad idea to pay attention to what's being built right off of I-10? Because this isn't just another shopping center. This is a $400 million development, and it's being built because of you. Would it be a bad idea to know what's coming to your area before it shows up to your home value? Because most people find out afterwards, and that's when it's already been priced in. So let me show you what's happening. This development is bringing over 800,000 square feet of retail. Major anchors like Target, Lowe's, another Sam's Club, restaurants, fitness centers, shopping, lifestyle, 550 high-end apartments in that area, walkable green space experience, and it's already 90% pre-leased. So let that hit for a second. This isn't speculation. This is demand already locked in. So would it be ridiculous to feel like everything is growing around you, but you're not sure how it affects you? And that's normal. Most people see buildings. Few people see what it does to pricing. So why does this exist? Here's the line that matters most. This development is being built because the thousands of homes have already been built in this area. You have master plan communities north and south of the I-10 freeway. Think about it. Builders already came. Now retail has to catch up at this point. This is phase 2 of growth. Would it be ridiculous to think home values don't follow lifestyle? And would I be out of line to say the best time to understand your position is before everything else finishes? Because once it's done, everyone sees at this point. So here's the mini market in the 77494 zip code specifically. Right now, the price points are $400,000 to $700,000 plus dominant range. The buyer type in this area are the move-up families, you have the relocations, the dual income households. Days on market are moderate, but they're not slow, but they're not hot at all. Inventory is balanced, but tightening in desirable neighborhoods. What does that mean? This area is already strong, but it's not maxed out yet. What this development does to 77494 is more retail equals more convenience gets you more demand, and more demand gets you more buyers relocating in. More buyers with less inventory gives you less inventory with less price pressure, with more price pressure upward, So less inventory gives you more price pressure upward. And here's the part nobody says out loud. This project is expected to bring 9 million visitors per year, guys. 9 million visitors per year. And that's traffic, that's exposure, and that's attention. So would it be a bad idea to look at homes now before this area feels fully built out? Because once it does, you're gonna be paying for it afterwards. And how does this impact buyers right now? Would it be ridiculous to buy in a place that's still grown into itself? Because right now you're buying into full lifestyle completion before peak demand, before everything is finished out. But in 2 to 3 years, this area feels completely different. Yeah, more finished, more polished, and more expensive. How does this impact the sellers out there, guys? Sellers in the 77494 zip code. Would I be out of line to say you're sitting in a very specific window because future value is rising, but buyers today are still negotiating? So you're in between selling before the boom fully hits or waiting and betting on future appreciation. And both can work out for you. But if you understand timing, would it be ridiculous to know exactly where your home sits in that timeline? That's usually the difference between guessing and maximizing. So let's keep it real. We're going to talk about the upsides first. You have massive retail coming in, lifestyle improving, demand increasing, strong long-term growth. The downside, traffic increases. As if we didn't have enough traffic as it is, it's gonna stack onto traffic. The prices rise, which gives you affordability tightens. Buyers get priced out later and competition increases, but both are coming in. Here's the real take on this. Would it be a bad idea to wait until everything is finished to decide? Because by then you're not early anymore. You're paying retail prices. So if you're in the 77494 zip code, which is the Katy, Fulshire area, would it be ridiculous to ignore what's being built around you? Or is this one of those moments where the people who move early win quietly? So would it be a bad idea to at least understand your position right now, whether you're buying, selling, or just watching? And if you want real clarity, not the headlines, reach out. I'll break it down for you. You're in your exact situation. I know I rifled off a bunch of zip codes and price points and all that. But no pressure, just telling the truth. Because in this market, the people who wait for certainty usually pay for it. So would it be a bad idea to at least understand where you stand right now? My name is Armando Espinosa, local realtor here in Houston, Texas. I've lived in Houston over 30 plus years. I've seen this city grow, shift, and reinvent itself over and over again. And what's happening right now, it's one of those moments. If you want real insights on what this all means for you, you got buying, selling, or just figuring out your next move, reach out. No pressure, just clarity. Talk soon.